Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to read the part 6, 6 juz of the Quran. We are starting from Surah An-Nisa, ayah number 148. We are starting with Brother Ismail with Arabic recitation, then we will continue.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا يحب الله الجهر بالسوء من القول إلا من ظلم وكان الله سميعا عليما. إن تبدوا خيرا أو تخفوه أو تعفوا عن سوء فإن الله كان عفوا قديرا. إن الذين يكفرون بالله ورسله ويريدون أن يفرقوا بين الله ورسله ويقولون نؤمن ببعض ونكفر ببعض ويريدون أن يتخذوا بين ذلك سبيلا. أولئك هم الكافرون حقا وأعتدنا للكافرين عذابا مهينا. والذين آمنوا بالله ورسله ولم يفرقوا بين أحد منهم أولئك سوف يؤتيهم أجورهم وكان الله غفورا رحيما. يسألك أهل الكتاب أن تنزل عليهم كتابا من السماء فقد سألوا موسى أكبر من ذلك فقالوا أرنا الله جهرة فأخذتهم الصاعقة بظلمهم ثم اتخذوا العجل من بعد ما جاءتهم البينات فعفونا عن ذلك وآتينا موسى سلطانا مبينا. ورفعنا فوقهم الطور بميثاقهم وقلنا لهم ادخلوا الباب سجدا وقلنا لهم لا تعدوا في السبت وأخذنا منهم ميثاقا غليظا.
148. God does not like any harsh speech to be uttered save by one who has been wronged, and therefore has the right to express that in appropriate language. God is indeed all-hearing, all-knowing. 149. Whether you do some good openly or do it in secret, or pardon an evil done to you, even though you have the right to legal retaliation, know that God is all-pardoning, ever able to punish or forgive. 150. Those deserving punishment are they who disbelieve in God, not recognizing Him at all or not as He should be, and His messengers, denying messengership altogether, or denying some of the messengers, and who seek to make distinction between God and His messengers, by claiming belief in God but denying messengership, or denying some of the messengers, and say, we believe in some and deny others, seeking to take a way in between. 151. Such are in truth unbelievers, and we have prepared for the unbelievers a shameful, humiliating punishment. 158. But as for those who believe in God and His messengers and make no distinction between them, between God and His messengers, or between messengers themselves, to them God will grant their rewards in full. God is indeed all forgiving, all compassionate. 153. The people of the book ask you to cause a book to be sent down on them from heaven. O messenger, let this not shock you, for they asked an even greater thing than this of Moses, when they said, show God to us openly, and the thunderbolt seized them from their wrongdoing. Then they adopted the golden calf as deity. And this after the miracles and other clear proofs of the truth had come to them, yet we accepted their at- atonement and pardoned them that, and we granted Moses the book and the Cretan, and thereby a clear proof and authority. 154. Moreover, we raised a mount to tower above them to secure their promise, to hold firmly to the book. And on another occasion, when we guided them to a town, we commanded them, go in to it through its gate, prostrating humbly in utmost submission to God. And again, we once commanded them, do not exceed the bounds with respect to the Sabbath, and we took from them a most solemn pledge.
فبما نقضهم ميثاقهم وكفرهم بآيات الله وقتلهم الأنبياء بغير حق وقولهم قلوبنا غلف بل طبع الله عليها بكفرهم فلا يؤمنون إلا قليلا فبكفرهم وقولهم على مريم بهتانا عظيما وقولهم إنا قتلنا المسيح عيسى ابن مريم رسول الله وما قتلوه وما صلبوه ولكن شبه لهم وإن الذين اختلفوا فيه لفي شك منه ما لهم به من علم إلا اتباع الظن وما قتلوه يقينا بل رفعه الله إليه وكان الله عزيزا حكيما وإن من أهل الكتاب إلا ليؤمنن به قبل موته ويوم القيامة يكون عليهم شهيدا فبظلم من الذين هادوا حرمنا عليهم طيبات أحلت لهم وبصدهم عن سبيل الله كثيرا وأخذهم الربا وقد نهوا عنه وأكلهم أموال الناس بالباطل وأعتدنا للكافرين منهم عذابا أليما لكن الراسخون في العلم منهم والمؤمنون يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك والمقيمين الصلاة والمؤتون الزكاة والمؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر أولئك سنؤتيهم أجرا عظيما.
155. And so, because of their breaking their pledge and their intentional ignoring of God's signs in the universe and in themselves, and their rejection of his revolutions, and their killing certain prophets against all right, and their saying, oh, our hearts have become callous, no longer having any ability to believe. No, rather God has set a seal on their hearts because of their persistent unbelief, so that, with the exception of few, sacredly do they believe. 156. And because of their persistence in unbelief and speaking against Mary, a tremendous calumny. 157. And they're saying, we killed the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, the messenger of God, whereas they did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but the matter was made dubious to them. Those who differ about this matter and about Jesus are indeed confused. They have no definite knowledge thereof, following mere conjecture, and of certainty they did not kill him. 158. But God raised him to himself. God is all glorious with irresistible might, all wise. 159. Yet there is none of the people of the book but will, before the moment of his death, grasp the truth about Jesus and believe in him. Though the belief will be of no benefit to them then, and on the day of resurrection, he will be a witness against them. 160. So, because of the wrong committed by the Jews, we made unlawful for them many pure, wholesome things which had hitherto been lawful for them, and be and because of their bearing many from God's way. 161. And because of their taking interest, although it had been forbidden to them, and consuming the wealth of people in wrongful ways, such as usury, theft, usurpation, bribery, gambling, and selling God's revelations, and we have prepared for the unbelievers among them, those who persisted in unbelief, despite all the many warnings, a painful punishment. 162. But those of them firmly rooted in knowledge and the true believers believe in what has been sent down to you, O messenger, and what was sent down before you, and especially those who do the prayer in conformity with its conditions, and those who pay their prescribed purifying alms, and the believers in God and the last day. As both must be believed in, to them will be granted a tremendous reward.
إنا أوحينا إليك كما أوحينا إلى نوح والنبيين من بعده وأوحينا إلى إبراهيم وإسماعيل وإسحاق ويعقوب والأسباط وعيسى وأيوب ويونس وهارون وسليمان وآتينا داود زبورا ورسلا قد قصصناهم عليك من قبل ورسلا لم نقصصهم عليك وكلم الله موسى تكليما رسلا مبشرين ومنذرين لئلا يكون للناس على الله حجة بعد الرسل وكان الله عزيزا حكيما لكن الله يشهد بما أنزل إليك أنزله بعلمه والملائكة يشهدون وكفى بالله شهيدا إن الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله قد ضلوا ضلالا بعيدا إن الذين كفروا وظلموا لم يكن الله ليغفر لهم ولا ليهديهم طريقا إلا طريق جهنم خالدين فيها أبدا وكان ذلك على الله يسيرا يا أيها الناس قد جاءكم الرسول بالحق من ربكم فآمنوا خيرا لكم وإن تكفروا فإن لله ما في السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما
171. O people of the book, do not go beyond the bounds in your religion, and do not say anything of God but the truth. The Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, was but a messenger of God and a word of his power, which he conveyed to Mary and a spirit from him. So believe in God as the one unique God and his messengers, including Jesus as messenger, and do not say God is one of a trinity. Give up this assertion. It is for your own good to do so. God is but one God. All glorified is he in that he is absolutely above having a son. To him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth. And God suffices as the one to be relied on, to whom affairs should be referred. The Messiah never disdains to be a servant to God, nor do the angels near station to him. Whoever disdains to worship God as a servant and feels his pride puffed up by arrogance should know that God will gather to them all to himself and call them to account. 173. To those who believe and do good, righteous deeds, he will grant their rewards in full, and will give them yet more of his bounty. But as to those who are disdainful and arrogant, he will punish them with a painful punishment, and they will not find for them against God a guardian and a protector, nor a helper. 174. O humankind, now a proof has come to you from your Lord, and we have sent down to you a clear light to illuminate your way and show you everything clearly. 175. So those who believe in God as taught by this proof and light and hold fast to him, he will admit them into great mercy from his presence and a bounty, and guide them direct to him on a straight path.
يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم ولا تقولوا على الله إلا الحق إنما المسيح عيسى ابن مريم رسول الله وكلمته ألقاها إلى مريم وروح منه فآمنوا بالله ورسله ولا تقولوا ثلاثة انتهوا خيرا لكم إنما الله إله واحد سبحانه أن يكون له ولد له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وكفى بالله وكيلا لن يستنكف المسيح أن يكون عبدا لله ولا الملائكة المقربون ومن يستنكف عن عبادته ويستكبر فسيحشرهم إليه جميعا فأما الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فيوفيهم أجورهم ويزيدهم من فضله وأما الذين استنكفوا واستكبروا فيعذبهم عذابا أليما ولا يجدون لهم من دون الله وليا ولا نصيرا يا أيها الناس قد جاءكم برهان من ربكم وأنزلنا إليكم نورا مبينا فأما الذين آمنوا بالله واعتصموا به فسيدخلهم في رحمة منه وفضل ويهديهم إليه صراطا مستقيما
163. 171. O people of the book, do not go beyond the bounds in your religion, and do not say anything of God but the truth. The Messiah, Jesus son of Mary, was but a messenger of God, and a word of his power which he conveyed to Mary, and a spirit from him. So believe in God as the one unique God and his messengers, including Jesus as messenger. And do not say God is one of a trinity. Give up this assertion. It is for your own good to do so. God is but one God, all glorified. Is he in that he is absolutely above having a son? To him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on earth. And God suffices as the one to be relied on, to whom affairs should be referred. 172. The Messiah never disdains to be a servant to God, nor do the angels near station to him. Whoever disdains to worship God as a servant and feels his pride puffed up by arrogance should know that God will gather them all to himself and call them to account. To those who believe and do good, righteous deeds, he will grant their rewards in full, and will give them yet more out of his bounty. But as to those who are disdainful and arrogant, he will punish them with a painful punishment, and they will not find for them against God a guardian and protector, nor a helper. 174. O humankind, now a proof has come to you from your Lord, and we have sent down to you a clear light to illuminate your way and show you everything clearly. 175. So those who believe in God as taught by this proof and light and hold fast to him, he will admit them into a great mercy from his presence and a bounty, and guide them direct to him on a straight path.
يستفتونك قل الله يفتيكم في الكلالة إن امرؤ هلك ليس له ولد وله أخت فلها نصف ما ترك وهو يرثها إن لم يكن لها ولد فإن كانت اثنتين فلهما الثلثان مما ترك وإن كانوا إخوة رجالا ونساء فللذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين يبين الله لكم أن تضلوا والله بكل شيء عليم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود أحلت لكم بهيمة الأنعام إلا ما يتلى عليكم غير محل الصيد وأنتم حرم إن الله يحكم ما يريد. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تحلوا شعائر الله ولا الشهر الحرام ولا الهدي ولا القلائد ولا آمين البيت الحرام يبتغون فضلا من ربهم ورضوانا وإذا حللتم فاصطادوا ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم أن صدوكم عن المسجد الحرام أن تعتدوا وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان فاتقوا الله إن الله شديد العقاب.
176. They ask you, O Messenger, to pronounce a ruling. Say to them, God pronounces to you the ruling concerning inheritance for those who have left behind no lineal heirs. Kahala. Should be should a man die childless but have a sister, for her is the half of what he has been behind, and the brother will inherit from her if the sister dies childless. If the heirs are two sisters, for them is 2/3 of what he has left behind. And if the heirs are brothers and sisters, then for the male is the equivalent of the portion of two females. God makes his commandments clear to you, lest you go astray. God has full knowledge over everything. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. Number 1. All you who believe, fulfill the bonds you have entered into with God and with people. Lawful for you is the flesh of cattle, grazing beasts of the flock, save what is mentioned to you herewith, and unlawful for you is hunted game when you are in the state of pilgrim sanctity. Surely God decrees as he wills. 2. All you who believe, do not violate the sanctity of the public symbols of Islam, set up by God, such as the Jummah and Eid prayers, the call to the prayer, the sacrifice, and the attendant rites of the pilgrimage, nor of the sacred months, during which fighting is forbidden except when you are attacked, nor of the animals brought to the sacred house for sacrifice, nor of the collars put on the animals marked for sacrifice, nor of those who have set out for the sacred house, seeking from their Lord bounty and his good pleasure. But once you leave your pilgrim sanctity and the sacred precincts of Mecca, you are free to hunt. And never let your detestation for a people because they bared you from the sacred mosque move you to commit violations, acts of aggression or injustice. Rather help one another in virtue and goodness, their righteousness and piety, and do not help one another in sinful, iniquitous acts and hostility. Keep from disobedience to God and reverence for him and piety. seeking his protection. Surely God is severe in retribution.
حرمت عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أهل لغير الله به والمنخنقة والموقوذة والمتردية والنطيحة وما أكل السبع إلا ما ذكيتم وما ذبح على النصب وأن تستقسموا بالأزلام ذلكم فسق اليوم يئس الذين كفروا من دينكم فلا تخشوهم واخشون اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا فمن اضطر في مخمصة غير متجانف لإثم فإن الله غفور رحيم يسألونك ماذا أحل لهم قل أحل لكم الطيبات وما علمتم من الجوارح مكلبين تعلمونهن مما علمكم الله فكلوا مما أمسكنا عليكم واذكروا اسم الله عليه واتقوا الله إن الله سريع الحساب اليوم أحل لكم الطيبات ودعام الذين أوتوا الكتاب حل لكم ودعامكم حل لهم والمحصنات من المؤمنات والمحصنات من الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم إذا آتيتموهن أجورهن محصنين غير مسافحين ولا متخذي أخدان ومن يكفر بالإيمان فقد حبط عمله وهو في الآخرة من الخاسرين.
Three, unlawful to you for food are carrion, and blood, and the flesh of swine, and that the animal offered in the name of any other than God, and the animal strangled, and the animal beaten down, and the animal fallen to death, and the animal gored, and that devoured by wild beasts, save that which you make lawful, by slaughtering properly while it was still alive. And that which has been sacrificed to anything serving the function of idols, and at the places consecrated for offerings to other than God, and also unlawful is that divided and obtained through divining arrows and the like, such as lotteries and throwing dice. Eating of any of that just mentioned is transgression. This day, those who disbelieve have lost all hope of preventing the establishment of your religion, so do not hold them in awe, but stand in awe of me. This day I have perfected for you your religion with all its rules, commandments, and universality, completed my favor upon you, and have been pleased to assign for you Islam as a religion. Then whoever is constrained by dire necessity and driven to what is forbidden, without purposely inclining to sin, surely God is all forgiving, all compassionate. 4. They ask you, O Messenger, what is lawful for them, including, in particular, the game caught by trained hunting animals? Say, lawful for you are all pure wholesome things. And as for such hunting animals as you have trained as hounds, teaching them from what God has taught you, you may eat of what they have caught for you, and brought to you dead or alive, without themselves having eaten thereof. And pronounce God's name, while dispatching them to hunt for you. Keep from disobedience to God and reverence for him and piety. Surely God is swift at reckoning. 5. This day, all pure, wholesome things have been made lawful for you, and the food of those who were given the book before, including the animals they slaughter, unless, of course, they invoke the name of any other God. is lawful for you, such as your food, including the animals you slaughter, is lawful for them. And lawful for you in marriage are chaste women from among the believers, and chaste women from among those who were given the book before, provided that you give them their bridal due, taking them in honest wedlock, and not in debauchery, nor as a secret love companions. That is the ordinance regarding your relations with the people of the book in this world. But know this, whoever rejects the true faith, and rejects following God's way as required by faith, all his works are in vain, and in the hereafter he will be among the losers.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين وإن كنتم جنبا فاطهروا وإن كنتم مرضى أو على سفر أو جاء أحد منكم من الغائط أو لامستم النساء فلم تجدوا ماء فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا فامسحوا بوجوهكم وأيديكم منه ما يريد الله ليجعل عليكم من حرج ولكن يريد ليطهركم وليتم نعمته عليكم لعلكم تشكرون واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم وميثاقه الذي واثقكم به إذا قلتم سمعنا وأطعنا واتقوا الله إن الله عليم بذات الصدور يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم مغفرة وأجر عظيم.
Six. O you who believe, when you rise up for the prayer, if you have no ablution, wash your faces and your hands up to and including the elbows, and lightly rub your heads with water. And wash your feet up to and including the ankles. And if you are in the state of major ritual impurity requiring total ablution, purify yourselves by taking a bath. But if you are ill or on a journey, or if any of you has just satisfied a want of nature, or if you had contact with women and can find no water, then betake yourselves to pure earth, passing with it lightly over your face and your hands and forearms up to and including the elbows. God does not will to impose any hardship upon you, but wills to purify you of any kind of material and spiritual filth, and to complete his favor upon you, so that you may give thanks from the heart, and in speech, and in action by fulfilling his commandments. 7. And remember God's favor upon you, and the pledge by which he bound you when you said, "We have heard, and we obey." Keep from disobedience to God in reverence for him and piety. Surely God has full knowledge of what lies hidden in the bosoms. 8. O you who believe, be upholders and standard bearers of right for God's sake, being witnesses for the establishment of absolute justice, and by no means let your detestation for a people or their detestation for you move you to commit the sin of deviating from justice. Be just. This is nearer and more suited to righteousness and piety. Seek righteousness and piety, and always act in reverence for God. Surely God is fully aware of all that you do. 9. God has promised those who believe and do good, righteous deeds, that for them is forgiveness and a tremendous reward.
والذين كفروا وكذبوا بآياتنا أولئك أصحاب الجحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ هم قوم أن يبسطوا إليكم أيديهم فكف أيديهم عنكم واتقوا الله وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون ولقد أخذ الله ميثاق بني إسرائيل وبعثنا منهم 12 نقيبا وقال الله إني معكم لئن أقمتم الصلاة وآتيتم الزكاة وآمنتم برسلي وعزرتموهم وأقرضتم الله قرضا حسنا لأكفرن عنكم سيئاتكم ولأدخلنكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار فمن كفر بعد ذلك منكم فقد ضل سواء السبيل فبما نقضهم ميثاقهم لعناهم وجعلنا قلوبهم قاسية يحرفون الكلم عن مواضعه ونسوا حظا مما ذكروا به ولا تزال تطلع على خائنة منهم إلا قليلا منهم فاعف عنهم واصفح إن الله يحب المحسنين.
Ten. Whereas those who deny our revelations, coming as verses of the book, as well as our signs, both in their inner world and in the outer world, such are companions of the blazing flame. 11. O you who believe, remember God's favor upon you, when a people were minded to stretch out their hands against you, but he restrained their hands from you. Keep from disobedience to God in reverence for him and piety, so as to always deserve his protection, and in God should the believers put their trust. 12. And, indeed, God took a pledge from the children of Israel, and raised up from among them 12 leaders and representatives, one from each tribe, to look after their affairs and as spiritual mentors. God said, surely I am with you, if indeed you establish the prayer in conformity with its conditions and pay the prescribed purifying alms, and believe in all of my messengers, and honor and support them, and lend God a good loan by spending out of your wealth in God's cause. I will surely blot out from you your evil deeds, and will certainly admit you into gardens through which rivers flow. But whoever among you disbelieves after this, and is ungrateful, has surely strayed away from the right, given way. 13. Then, because of their breaking their pledge, we cursed them, excluded them from our mercy, and exposed them to many disasters, and caused their hearts to harden. They alter the words in their book from their context in order to distort their meanings, and they have forgotten a most important portion of what they were admonished about. You will not cease to light upon some act of treachery from them, except a few of them. Yet pardon them, and overlook their misdeeds. Surely God loves those devoted to doing good, aware that God is seeing them.
ومن الذين قالوا إنا نصارى أخذنا ميثاقهم فنسوا حظا مما ذكروا به فأغرينا بينهم العداوة والبغضاء إلى يوم القيامة وسوف ينبئهم الله بما كانوا يصنعون يا أهل الكتاب قد جاءكم رسولنا يبين لكم كثيرا مما كنتم تخفون من الكتاب ويعفو عن كثير قد جاءكم من الله نور وكتاب مبين يهدي به الله من اتبع رضوانه سبل السلام ويخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور بإذنه ويخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور بإذنه ويهديهم إلى صراط مستقيم. لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله هو المسيح ابن مريم قل فمن يملك من الله شيئا إن أراد أن يهلك المسيح ابن مريم وأمه ومن في الأرض جميعا ولله ملك السماوات والأرض وما بينهما يخلق ما يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير.
"14. And from those who said we are Nashara, helpers, we also took a pledge, but they have forgotten a most important portion of what they were admonished about. So we have stirred up among them enmity and hatred till the day of resurrection. Then God will cause them to understand what they have been contriving. 15. O people of the book, now there has indeed come to you our messenger, making clear to you many things you have been concealing of the book, the Bible, and passing over many things in order not to put you to further shame. Surely there has come to you from God a light which enlightens your minds and hearts and illuminates your way, and a book clear in itself and clearly showing the truth. 16. Whereby God guides whoever strives after his good pleasure by acting in the way he approves to the ways of peace, salvation, and safety. And he leads them by his leave out of all kinds of intellectual, spiritual, social, economic, and political darkness into light, and guides them to a straight path in belief, thought, and action. 17. They have indeed disbelieved who declare, God is the Messiah, son of Mary. Say, who then has the least power against God? If he had willed to destroy the Messiah, son of Mary, and his mother, and all those who are on the earth. To God belongs the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth, and all that is between them. He creates whatever he wills. God has full power over everything.
وقالت اليهود والنصارى نحن أبناء الله وأحباؤه قل فلم يعذبكم بذنوبكم بل أنتم بشر ممن خلق يغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء ولله ملك السماوات والأرض وما بينهما وإلى المصير. يا أهل الكتاب قد جاءكم رسولنا يبين لكم على فترة من الرسل أن تقولوا ما جاءنا من بشير ولا نذير فقد جاءكم بشير ونذير والله على كل شيء قدير. وإذ قال موسى لقومه يا قوم اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ جعل فيكم أنبياء وجعلكم ملوكا وآتاكم ما لم يؤت أحدا من العالمين. يا قوم ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم ولا ترتدوا على أدباركم فتنقلبوا خاسرين. قالوا يا موسى إن فيها قوما جبارين وإنا لن ندخلها حتى يخرجوا منها فإن يخرجوا منها فإنا داخلون. قال رجلان من الذين يخافون أنعم الله عليهم ادخلوا عليهم الباب فإذا دخلتموه فإنكم غالبون وعلى الله فتوكلوا إن كنتم مؤمنين.
18. The Jews and Christians assert, we are God's children and his beloved ones. Say, why then does he punish you for your sins? No, You are but mortals that, just like others, he has created. He forgives whom he wills, and he punishes whom he wills. To God belongs the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth, and all that is in between them, and to him is the homecoming. 19. O people of the book, now, after a long interlude during which no messengers have appeared, there has indeed come to you our messenger, making the whole truth clear to you, lest you should say, there has not come to us any bearer of good tidings, nor any warner. Indeed, there has come to you a bearer of good tidings and a warner, and God has full power over everything. 20. And remember, when Moses warned his people, saying, O my people, remember God's favor upon you, for he appointed among you prophets and appointed among you rulers while in Egypt, and made you free to manage your own affairs. And he granted you favors such as he had not granted to anyone else in the worlds. 21. O my people, enter the holy lands which God has prescribed for you and commanded you to enter. Do not turn back from faith to your previous state, for then you will turn about as losers in both this world and the hereafter. 22. They said, Moses, therein lives a people of exceeding strength. We cannot enter it unless they depart from it. So if they depart from it, then we will surely enter it. 23. Said two men from among those who feared God's punishment for disobedience to him, and whom God has favored with faith, sagacity, and devotion, enter upon them through the gate, by frontal attack, for once you have entered it, you will surely be the victors, and in God you must put your trust if you are truly believers.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قالوا يا موسى إنا لن ندخلها أبدا ما داموا فيها فاذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا إنا هاهنا قاعدون قال رب إني لا أملك إلا نفسي وأخي فافرق بيننا وبين القوم الفاسقين قال فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة يتيهون في الأرض فلا تأس على القوم الفاسقين واتل عليهم نبأ ابني آدم بالحق إذ قربا قربانا فتقبل من أحدهما ولم يتقبل من الآخر قال لأقتلنك قال إنما يتقبل الله من المتقين لئن بسطت إلي يدك لتقتلني ما أنا بباسط يدي إليك لأقتلك إني أخاف الله رب العالمين إني أريد أن تبوء بإثمي وإثمك فتكون من أصحاب النار وذلك جزاء الظالمين فطوعت له نفسه قتل أخيه فقتله فأصبح من الخاسرين فبعث الله غرابا يبحث في الأرض ليريه كيف يواري سوءة أخيه قال يا ويلتى أعجزت أن أكون مثل هذا الغراب فواري سوءة أخي فأصبح من النادمين.
They said, O Moses, by no means will we enter it as long as they are there. Go forth then, you and your Lord, and fight, both of you. As for ourselves, we will be just sitting here. 25. He, Moses, said, turning to his Lord with entreaty, O my Lord, I have power over none except my own self and my brother Aaron only. So you judge and separate between us and these transgressing people. 26. He, God, said, passing this judgment, then this land shall now be forbidden to them for 40 years, while they shall wander about on the earth, bewildered. Do not grieve over the transgressing people. 27. Narrate to them, O messenger, in truth the exemplary experience of the sons of Adam, when they each offered a sacrifice, and it was accepted from one of them, and not accepted from the other. I will surely kill you, said he whose sacrifice was not accepted. God accepts only from the sincere and truly pious, said the other. 28. Yet if you stretch out your hand against me to kill me, I will not stretch out my hand against you to kill you. Surely I fear God, the Lord of the worlds. 29. In refusing to fight you and in remembering to fear God, I desire indeed to warn you that you will bear the burden of my sin, were I to take part in fighting you, and your own sin for seeking to kill me. And so you will be among the companions of the fire, for that is the recompense of wrongdoers. 30. This warning served only to fuel the other's passion. His carnal, evil commanding soul prompted him to kill his brother, and he killed him, thus becoming among the losers. 31. He did not know what to do with the dead body of his brother. Then God sent forth a raven, searching in the earth, to show him how he might cover the corpse of his brother. So seeing, he cried, "Oh, alas for me! Am I then unable to even be like this raven, and so find a way to cover the corpse of my brother?" And he became distraught with remorse.
من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا ولقد جاءتهم رسلنا بالبينات ثم إن كثيرا منهم بعد ذلك في الأرض لمسرفون إنما جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله ويسعون في الأرض فسادا أن يقتلوا أو يصلبوا أو تقطع أيديهم وأرجلهم من خلاف أو ينفوا من الأرض ذلك لهم خزي في الدنيا ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم إلا الذين تابوا من قبل أن تقدروا عليهم فاعلموا أن الله غفور رحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وابتغوا إليه الوسيلة وجاهدوا في سبيله لعلكم تفلحون إن الذين كفروا لو أن لهم ما في الأرض جميعا ومثله معه ليفتدوا به من عذاب يوم القيامة ما تقبل منهم ولهم عذاب أليم.
"32. It is because of this that we ordained for all humankind, but particularly for the children of Israel, who kills a soul unless it be in legal punishment for murder or for causing disorder and corruption on the earth, will be as if he had killed all humankind. And he who saves a life will be as if he had saved the lives of all humankind. Assuredly, there came to them our messengers, one after the other, with clear proofs of the truth, so that they might be revived both individually and as a people. Then, in spite of all this, many of them go on committing excesses on the earth." 33. The recompense of those who fight against God and his messenger, and hasten about the earth, causing disorder and corruption. They shall, according to the nature of their crime, either be executed or crucified, or have their hands and feet cut off alternately, or be banished from the land. Such is their disgrace in the world, and for them is a mighty punishment in the hereafter. 34. Except for those who repent and desist from their crimes against order, before you have overpowered them, although the judgment as to specific crimes against individuals is left to those individuals or to heirs. Know that God surely is all forgiving, all compassionate, especially towards his servants who turn to him in repentance. 35. O you who believe, keep from disobedience to God and reverence for him and piety, and seek the means to come closer to him and strive in his cause so that you may prosper in both worlds. 36. As to those who persist in unbelief, even if they own the whole of what is on the earth and the like with it, to offer as ransom for the punishment on the day of resurrection, it would not be accepted from them. For them is a painful punishment.
يريدون أن يخرجوا من النار وما هم بخارجين منها ولهم عذاب مقيم والسارق والسارقة فاقطعوا أيديهما جزاء بما كسبا نكالا من الله والله عزيز حكيم فمن تاب من بعد ظلمه وأصلح فإن الله يتوب عليه إن الله غفور رحيم ألم تعلم أن الله له ملك السماوات والأرض يعذب من يشاء ويغفر لمن يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير يا أيها الرسول لا يحزنك الذين يسارعون في الكفر من الذين قالوا آمنا بأفواههم ولم تؤمن قلوبهم ومن الذين هادوا سماعون للكذب سماعون لقوم آخرين لم يأتوك يحرفون الكلم من بعد مواضعه يقولون إن أوتيتم هذا فخذوه وإن لم تؤتوه فاحذروا ومن يرد الله فتنته فلن تملك له من الله شيئا أولئك الذين لم يرد الله أن يطهر قلوبهم لهم في الدنيا خزي ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم.
37. They will wish to come out of the fire, but they shall not come out of it. Theirs is a punishment enduring. 38. And for the thief, male or female, cut off their hands as a recompense for what they have earned of evil, and an exemplary deterrent punishment from God. God is all glorious with irresistible might, all wise. 39. But he who repents after having done wrong and mends his ways, surely God accepts his repentance, for God is all forgiving, all compassionate. 40. Do you not know that surely to God belongs the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth? He punishes whom he wills and forgives whom he wills. He has full power over everything. 41. O messenger, let them not grieve you who would rush in unbelief, as if competing with one another in a race. Such of them as say with their mouths, we believe, but their hearts do not believe. And those of them who are Jews, they are eagerly listening out for falsehoods, especially about you, and eagerly listening out, spying on behalf of other people who have never come to you, even to learn the essence of your message, altering any words, whether pertaining to God or not, from their context to distort their meanings. They say about matters referred to you for judgment, if such and such judgment is given to you, accept it. But if it is not given to you, then beware. Whoever God has willed to put a trial, to prove his nature, and has failed in this trial, you have no power in anything on his behalf against God. Such are those whose hearts, because of their rushing in unbelief, God does not will to purify. For them is disgrace in the world and in the hereafter, a mighty punishment.
سماعون للكذب أكالون للسحت فإن جاءوك فاحكم بينهم أو أعرض عنهم فإن تعرض عنهم فلن يضروك شيئا وإن حكمت فاحكم بينهم بالقسط إن الله يحب المقسطين وكيف يحكمونك وعندهم التوراة فيها حكم الله ثم يتولون من بعد ذلك وما أولئك بالمؤمنين إنا أنزلنا التوراة فيها هدى ونور يحكم بها النبيون الذين أسلموا للذين هادوا والربانيون والأحبار بما استحفظوا من كتاب الله وكانوا عليه شهداء فلا تخشوا الناس واخشوني ولا تشتروا بآياتي ثمنا قليلا ومن لم يحكم بما أنزل الله فأولئك هم الكافرون وكتبنا عليهم فيها أن النفس بالنفس والعين بالعين والأنف بالأنف والأذن بالأذن والسن بالسن والجروح قصاص فمن تصدق به فهو كفارة له ومن لم يحكم بما أنزل الله فأولئك هم الظالمون.
42. Listening out for lies and falsehood eagerly, and consuming unlawful earnings greedily. If they come to you for judgment, you may either judge between them or turn away from them, and decline to give judgment. If you turn away from them, they cannot harm. If you turn away from them, they cannot harm you in any way. But if you judge between them with equity and justice. Surely God loves the scrupulously equitable. 43. But how is it that they ask you for judgment when they have the Torah, in which there is God's judgment concerning murder, and still thereafter turn away from that and from your judgment? The fact is, those are not believers. 44. Surely we did send down the Torah, in which there was guidance and a light to illuminate people's minds, hearts, and ways of life. Thereby did the prophets, who were fully submitted to God, judge for the Jews, and so did the masters self-dedicated to God and educating people, and the rabbis, teachers of law, as they had been entrusted to keep and observe the part of God's book, revealed up to their time. And they were all witnesses to its truth concerning judging by God's book and observing it. We warned them, saying, do not hold people in awe, but stand in awe of me, and do not sell my revelations for a trifling price. Whoever declines to confirm and does not judge by what God has sent down, those are indeed unbelievers. And we prescribed for them in it, concerning murder, a life for a life, and an eye for an eye, and a nose for a nose, and an ear for an ear, and a tooth for a tooth, and a like retaliation for all wounds, the exact retaliation of which is possible. But whoever remits the retaliation, it will be an act of expiation for him. Whoever does not judge by what God has sent down, those are indeed wrongdoers.
وقفينا على آثارهم بعيسى ابن مريم مصدقا لما بين يديه من التوراة وآتيناه الإنجيل فيه هدى ونور ومصدقا لما بين يديه من التوراة وهدى وموعظة للمتقين فليحكم أهل الإنجيل بما أنزل الله فيه ومن لم يحكم بما أنزل الله فأولئك هم الفاسقون وأنزلنا إليك الكتاب بالحق مصدقا لما بين يديه من الكتاب ومهيمنا عليه فاحكم بينهم بما أنزل الله ولا تتبع أهواءهم عما جاءك من الحق لكل جعلنا منكم شرعة ومنهاجا ولو شاء الله لجعلكم أمة واحدة ولكن ليبلوكم فيما آتاكم فاستبقوا الخيرات إلى الله مرجعكم جميعا فينبئكم بما كنتم فيه تختلفون وأن يحكم بينهم بما أنزل الله ولا تتبع أهواءهم واحذرهم أن يفتنوك عن بعض ما أنزل الله إليك فإن تولوا فاعلم أنما يريد الله أن يصيبهم ببعض ذنوبهم وإن كثيرا من الناس لفاسقون أفحكم الجاهلية يبغون ومن أحسن من الله حكما لقوم يوقنون.
46. And in the footsteps of those earlier prophets, we sent Jesus, son of Mary, confirming the truth of the Torah revealed before him. And we granted to him the gospel, in which there was guidance and a light to illuminate people's minds, hearts, and ways of life, confirming what was revealed before it in the Torah, except for a few unlawful things that made it lawful, and serving as a guidance and an instruction for the God-revering pious. 47. And we commanded, let the people of the gospel judge by what God sent down therein. And whoever does not judge by what God has sent down, those are indeed the transgressors. 48. We have sent down to you, O messenger, the book with the truth, embodying it, and with nothing false in it, confirming the divine authorship of and the truths that are still contained in whatever of the book was revealed before it, and guarding over all the true teachings in it. Judge then between them by what God has sent you down to you, and you do not follow their lusts and fancies away from the truth that has come to you. For each community to which a messenger was sent down with the book, we appointed a clear way of life and a comprehensive system containing the principles of that way and how to follow it. And if God had so willed, he would surely have made you a single community, following the same way of life and system, surrounded by the same conditions throughout all history. But he willed it otherwise, in order to test you by what he granted to you, and thereby made you subject to a law of progress. Strive then together, as if competing in good works. To God is the return of all of you. He will then make you understand the truth about what you have differed on. 49. Thus did we command you, judge between them with what God has sent down, and do not follow their lusts and fancies, and beware of them, lest they tempt you away from any part of what God has sent down to you. If they turn away, then know that God only wills to afflict them for some of their sins, and many among human beings are indeed transgressors. 50. Or is it the law of the pagan ignorance that they seek to be judged and ruled by? Who is better than God as lawgiver and judge for a people seeking certainty and authoritative knowledge?
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض ومن يتولهم منكم فإنه منهم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. فترى الذين في قلوبهم مرض يسارعون فيهم يقولون نخشى أن تصيبنا دائرة فعسى الله أن يأتي بالفتح أو أمر من عنده فيصبحوا على ما أسروا في أنفسهم نادمين ويقول الذين آمنوا أهؤلاء الذين أقسموا بالله أيمانهم إنهم لمعكم حبطت أعمالهم خاسرين يا أيها الذين آمنوا من يرتد منكم عن دينه فسوف يأتي الله بقوم يحبهم ويحبونه أذلة على المؤمنين أعزة على الكافرين يجاهد في سبيل الله ولا يخافون لومة لائم ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله واسع عليم إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون ومن يتولى الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا فإن حزب الله هم الغالبون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الذين اتخذوا دينكم هزوا ولعبا من الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم والكفار أولياء واتقوا الله إن كنتم مؤمنين
$51. Al-Ma'idah 51. Surah Al-Ma'idah. O who you believe, take not Jews and Christians for friends and allies in their Judaism and Christianity and against the believers. Some among them are friends and allies to some others. Whoever among you takes them for friends and allies in their Judaism and Christianity and against the believers will eventually become one of them and be counted among them in the hereafter. Surely God does not guide such wrongdoers. 52. Yet you, O messenger, see those in whose hearts there is a disease that dries up the source of their spiritual life, extinguish their power of understanding, and corrupts their character, hastening towards them to get their friendship and patronage, as if competing with one another, saying, we fear lest a turn of fortune should befall us. But it may be that God will bring about for the believers victory or some other outcome of his own will, to punish those hypocrites or the wrongdoers whose friendship and patronage they seek. And then they will find themselves utterly regretful for the secrets they, as hypocrites, sought to keep hidden in their cells. 53. And those who believe will say to each other, are those the self-same people who swore by God their most solemn oaths that they were indeed with you? Their works have gone to waste, and they have become losers. 54. O who you believe, whoever of you turns away from his religion, know that in that time God will raise up a people whom he loves and who love him, most humble towards the believers, dignified and commanding in the face of the unbelievers, striving continuously and in solidarity in God's cause, and fearing not the censure of any who censure. That is God's grace and bounty, which he grants to whom he wills. God is all-embracing with his profound grace, all-knowing. 55. Your guardian and confidant is none but God, and his messenger, and those who, having believed, establish the prayer in conformity with all its conditions and pay the prescribed purifying alms, the zakah, and they bow in humility and submission to him. 56. Whoever takes God and his messenger and those who believe for guardian and confidant, then surely the party of God that they constitute, they are the victors. 57. O who you believe, do not take for guardians and confidants such of those who were given the book before you as make a mockery and sport of your religion, and the unbelievers who reject the messenger, divine revelation, and the last day. Keep from disobedience to God in reverence for him and piety, if you are truly believers.
وإذا ناديتم إلى الصلاة اتخذوها هزوا ولعبا ذلك بأنهم قوم لا يعقلون قل يا أهل الكتاب هل تنقمون منا إلا أن آمنا بالله وما أنزل إلينا وما أنزل من قبل وأن أكثركم فاسقون قل هل أنبئكم بشر من ذلك مثوبة عند الله من لعنه الله وغضب عليه وجعل منهم القردة والخنازير وعبد الطاغوت أولئك شر مكانا وأضل عن سواء السبيل وإذا جاءوكم قالوا آمنا وقد دخلوا بالكفر وهم قد خرجوا به والله أعلم بما كانوا يكتمون وترى كثيرا منهم يسارعون في الإثم والعدوان وأكلهم السحت لبئس ما كانوا يعملون لولا ينهاهم الربانيون والأحبار عن قولهم الإثم وأكلهم السحت لبئس ما كانوا يصنعون وقالت اليهود يد الله مغلولة غلت أيديهم ولعنوا بما قالوا بل يداه مبسوطتان ينفق كيف يشاء وليزيدن كثيرا منهم ما أنزل إليك من ربك طغيانا وكفرا وألقينا بينهم العداوة والبغضاء إلى يوم القيامة كلما أوقدوا نارا للحرب أطفأها الله ويسعون الأرض فسادا والله لا يحب المفسدين.
"58. When you recite the call to the prayer, they take it for a mockery and sport. That is because they are a people who do not reason and understand. 59. Say, O people of the book, is it not that you begrudge us only because we believe in God and what has been set down to us and what was sent down before, and because most of you are transgressors? 60. Say, shall I tell you of a case the worst of all for recompense with God? Those whom God has cursed, excluded from his mercy, and whom he has utterly condemned, and some of whom he turned into apes and swine and servants of powers of evil that institute patterns of faith and rule in defiance of God. They are worse situated and further astray from the right, even way. 61. Whoever those of the same character and life pattern and the hypocrites following their footsteps come to you, they declare hypocritically, we believe, whereas in fact they enter with unbelief in their hearts, and so they depart with it. God knows very well what unbelief and hypocrisy they have been concealing. 62. You see many among them rushing as if competing in sinful iniquitous acts and enmity and consuming unlawful earnings. How evil indeed is what they have been doing. 63. Why is it that the masters, self-dedicated to God and educating people, and rabbis, teachers of law, do not forbid them from sinful utterances and consuming unlawful earnings? How evil indeed is what they have been contravening. 64. The Jew says, God's hand is fettered, thus attributing their humiliation and misery to him. Be their hands fettered, and be they excluded from his mercy for saying so. No, indeed. Both his hands are spread out wide in bounty, bestowing as he wills, and the revelation and bounties that are sent down to you from your Lord, indeed, increase many of them in rebellion and unbelief. However, according to the laws we establish for human life in the world, we have cast enmity and hateful rancor among them to last until the day of resurrection. As often as they kindle a fire of war against Islam to overcome and put it off, God extinguishes it without allowing them to attain to their goal. They hasten about the earth, causing disorder and corruption, and God does not love those who cause disorder and corruption.
ولو أن أهل الكتاب آمنوا واتقوا لكفر عنهم سيئاتهم ولأدخلناهم جنات النعيم ولو أنهم أقاموا التوراة والإنجيل وما أنزل إليهم من ربهم لأكلوا من فوقهم ومن تحت أرجلهم منهم أمة مقتصدة وكثير منهم ساء ما يعملون يا أيها الرسول بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك وإن لم تفعل فما بلغت رسالته والله يعصمك من الناس إن الله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين قل يا أهل الكتاب لستم على شيء حتى تقيموا التوراة والإنجيل وما أنزل إليكم من ربكم وليزيدن كثيرا منهم ما أنزل إليك من ربك طغيانا وكفرا فلا تأس على القوم الكافرين إن الذين آمنوا والذين والصابئون والنصارى من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون لقد أخذنا ميثاق بني إسرائيل وأرسلنا إليهم رسلا كلما جاءهم رسول بما لا تهوى أنفسهم فريقا كذبوا وفريقا يقتلون.
65. If only the people of the book would believe in the Prophet Muhammad and what is revealed to him, and keep from disobedience to God in piety, so as to deserve his protection, we would certainly blot out from them their previous evil deeds and admit them for sure into gardens of bounty and blessing. 66. If only they had truly observed the Torah and the gospel and all that was sent down to them from their Lord without introducing distortions therein, and therefore would believe in Muhammad and follow his way, they would have been fed from above them and from beneath their feet, as God would have poured forth his blessings upon them from both heaven and earth. Among them, there are just, moderate people who hold to the right course, but many of them, evil indeed is what they do. 67. O messenger, you who convey and embody the message in the best way, convey and make known in the clearest way all that has been sent down to you from your Lord. For if you do not, you have not conveyed his message and fulfilled the task of his messengership, and God will certainly protect you from the people. God will surely not guide the disbelieving people to attain their goal of harming or defeating you. 68. Say, O people of the book, you do not stand of anything valid in God's sight unless you truly observe the Torah and the gospel in their preserved and abrogated commandments and all that has been sent down to you from your Lord, and doing that, you would believe in me and the Qur'an and follow my way. However, what is sent down to you from your Lord surely increases many of them in rebellion and unbelief. But grieve not for the disbelieving people. 69. Surely, be they of those who declare faith in Muhammad and what he brings from God, or be they of those who are the Jews or Sabaeans or the Christians or of another faith, whoever truly and sincerely believes in God and the last day and does good, righteous deeds, they will have no fear, nor will they grieve. 70. We did indeed take a pledge from the children of Israel, and accordingly we sent them messengers one after the other. But whenever a messenger came to them with what did not suit the desires of their souls, some they would deny and some they would kill.
حسبوا ألا تكون فتنة وصموا تاب الله عليهم ثم عموا وصموا كثير منهم والله بصير ما يعملون لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله هو المسيح ابن مريم وقال المسيح يا بني إسرائيل اعبدوا الله ربي وربكم إنه من يشرك به قد حرم الله عليه الجنة ومأواه النار وما للظالمين من أنصار لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله ثالث ثلاثة وما من إله إلا إله واحد وإن لم ينتهوا عما يقولون ليمسن الذين كفروا منهم عذاب أليم أفلا يتوبون إلى الله ويستغفرونه والله غفور رحيم ما المسيح ابن مريم إلا رسول قد خلت من قبله الرسل وأمه صديقة كانا يأكلا الطعام انظر كيف نبين لهم الآيات ثم انظر أنا يؤفكون قل أتعبدون من دون الله ما لا يملك لكم ضرا ولا نفعا الله هو السميع العليم.
71. They calculated that there would be no trial of them as a result of what they did, and so became as if blind and deaf to truth and all divine admonitions. Then God having guided them to waken their consciences and turn to him in repentance so that they could reform themselves, relented towards them in gracious forgiveness. Then, again, in spite of that, many of them became as if blind and deaf, and God sees well all that they do. 72. Assuredly, they have disbelieved who say, God is the Messiah, son of Mary, whereas the Messiah himself proclaimed, O children of Israel, worship God, my Lord and your Lord. Whoever associates partner with God, God has surely made paradise forbidden to him, and his refuge is the fire, and the wrongdoers will have no helpers. 73. Assuredly, they also disbelieve who say, God is the third of the three, whereas there is no deity save the one God. If they desist not from their saying so, there shall touch those who of them who persist in unbelief and die unbelievers a painful punishment. 74. Will they not turn to God in repentance and being resolved never again to commit the same wrong, ask him for forgiveness? God is all forgiving, all compassionate. 75. The Messiah, son of Mary, was but a messenger. Messengers had passed away before him, and his mother was an upright, one wholly devoted to God. Both of them ate food, as do all mortals. Look, how we make the truths clear to them. Then look how they are turned away from the truth and make false claims. 76. Say to them, O messenger, do you worship apart from God that which in and of itself has no power to harm or to benefit you, when God is he who is the all-hearing, the all-knowing?
قل يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم غير الحق ولا تتبعوا أهواء قوم قد ضلوا من ضلوا كثيرا وضلوا عن سواء السبيل. لعن الذين كفروا من بني إسرائيل على لسان داود وعيسى بن مريم ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون. كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه لبئس ما كانوا يفعلون. ترى كثيرا منهم يتولون الذين كفروا لبئس ما قدمت لهم أنفسهم أن سخط الله عليهم وفي العذاب هم خالدون. ولو كانوا يؤمنون بالله والنبي وما أنزل إليه ما اتخذوهم أولياء ولكن كثيرا منهم فاسقون. لتجدن أشد الناس عداوة للذين آمنوا اليهود والذين أشركوا ولتجدن أقربهم مودة للذين آمنوا الذين قالوا إنا نصارى ذلك بأن منهم قسيسين ورهبانا وأنهم لا يستكبرون.
77. Say, O people of the book, do not go beyond the bonds in your religion, straying towards other than the truth, and do not follow the lusts and fancies of people who went astray before, and led many others astray. And they strayed as again others do now from the right, even way. 78. Those of the children of Israel who disbelieved were cursed by the tongue of David and Jesus, son of Mary. That was because they disobeyed and kept on exceeding the bounds of the law. 79. They would not restrain one another from doing the evil they did. Indeed, evil was what they used to do. 80. You see many of them, the Jews, taking those who disbelieve as allies and friends instead of allying with the messenger and the believers. Evil indeed is what they themselves sent ahead for themselves, for their future and for the life hereafter, so that God will condemn them and they will abide in the punishment. 81. Had they truly believed in God and the most illustrious Prophet Muhammad and in what has been set down to him, they would not have taken them, the unbelievers, for allies and friends, but many of them are transgressors. 82. You will most certainly find that of the people of unbelief, the most violent in enmity towards the believers, the Muslims, are the Jews and those who associate partners with God. And you will most certainly find that the nearest of them in affection to the believers, the Muslims, are those who say, we are Christians. This is because there are among them, the Christians, hermits who devote themselves to worshiping God, especially at night, and monks who struggle with their carnal souls, ever fearful of God's punishment, and because they are not arrogant. Sadaqallahul Azim. Brothers and sisters, we finished the part 6. Tomorrow we will continue with part 7, which is Juz 7, from page 121.